The year was 2157. Earth had fallen. The Nerex, a ruthless alien race, came from a faraway galaxy to take over the planet. At first, humans tried to fight back. But the Nerex were too strong. Their ships could destroy entire cities with one blast, and their soldiers were faster and stronger than any human. Within weeks, most of the world's major cities had fallen. The human army was crushed, and the rest of the population was either enslaved or killed. However, not all hope was lost. In the last remaining underground city, hidden deep beneath the Earth's surface, a group of survivors had been working on a secret plan. The Nerex thought humanity was weak, but they didn't know about the humans' greatest strength, their will to survive. Dr. Sarah Martinez, a former scientist and military strategist, was the leader of this group. She and her team had discovered something incredible, an ancient serum, hidden away in an old laboratory. The serum could enhance human abilities, turning ordinary people into superhumans. Sarah had seen what the Nerex could do. She knew this was their last chance. "Are you sure this will work?" asked James, one of the team members. He was nervous, but also hopeful. The serum was untested, and there was no guarantee it would work. If it didn't, they would all die. "It has to," Sarah replied. "If we don't try, we will lose everything." The serum had been created by an ancient civilization long before the Nerex ever existed. It was designed to awaken the hidden power within humans, giving them abilities far beyond what they thought possible. But there was a risk. The serum might not work on everyone. It could make them stronger, but it could also make them sick or even kill them. Sarah had no choice. She volunteered to be the first test subject. She injected herself with the serum and waited. At first, she felt nothing. But then her body began to change. Her muscles grew stronger, her senses sharpened, and her mind raced with new ideas. She could see, hear, and think faster than ever before. Within hours, she was stronger, faster, and smarter than any soldier on Earth. James and the others watched in awe as Sarah showed them what the serum had done. She could lift heavy objects with ease, run at incredible speeds, and even think several steps ahead of her enemies. "This is it," she said, a grin spreading across her face. "This is how we beat them." Sarah and her team decided that they would use the serum to create a new group of heroes humans who could fight back against the Nerex. The survivors started using the serum, one by one. Each person became stronger, faster, and more powerful. They were no longer just ordinary people. They were the last hope for humanity. The first mission was simple but dangerous. The Nerex had a supply base on the surface of Earth where they stored food and weapons. If the humans could destroy the base, it would be a huge blow to the aliens' plans. But the Nerex were everywhere. It would be impossible to get past them without the enhanced abilities they had gained from the serum. Sarah led the team out of the underground city, and they began their journey to the Nerex base. As they neared the base, they could see the alien soldiers patrolling the area. The team stayed hidden, waiting for the right moment to strike. "This is it," Sarah whispered. "We go in fast and hit them hard. They won't know what hit them." With that, the team charged toward the base. The Nerex soldiers saw them coming and raised their weapons. But before they could fire, Sarah and the others moved at lightning speed, dodging the lasers and taking down the soldiers one by one. The Nerex were shocked. They had never seen anything like this before. Sarah's team was unstoppable. They used their enhanced strength to tear through the alien defenses and destroy the base. The Nerex, who had thought that humans were weak, realized too late that they had made a mistake. These humans were not the same as the ones they had conquered before. They were something new, something far more dangerous. As the team completed their mission and began to return to their underground city, they knew that the war was far from over. The Nerex would send more troops, and the battles would only get harder. But Sarah and her team were no longer afraid. They had proven that humans were capable of anything, no matter how impossible it seemed. "We're not done yet," Sarah said, as they walked back to safety. "This is only the beginning." And she was right. The Nerex had underestimated humanity. Now, they would learn that humans were not just survivors, they were fighters. And as long as there was one human left, they would never give up. The galaxy was ruled by the Vornak, a powerful alien race that conquered everything in its path. They had destroyed countless worlds, enslaving or wiping out entire populations. Earth, once a thriving planet, was now just another target for the Vornak. The humans had tried to fight back, but the Vornak's advanced technology and brutal tactics were too much. In the year 2184, the last human city stood surrounded by Vornak forces. The city was under constant attack. Most of the human soldiers had been defeated or captured. The Vornak believed that the human race was weak and that it was only a matter of time before Earth would fall completely. But they didn't know humans like Captain Ethan Ward. Ethan had been a soldier before the Vornak came, but now he was a leader of the underground rebellion. He had seen what the Vornak did to his friends and family. His wife, Sarah, had been taken by the aliens during the first wave of attacks. His children had been forced into labor camps. Ethan wasn't just fighting for survival, he was fighting for revenge. "We can't just sit here and wait for them to finish us off," Ethan said to his small group of rebels. They were gathered in a hidden room beneath the city, away from the Vornak's watchful eyes. "We fight back. We have nothing to lose." The other rebels nodded in agreement. They were tired of hiding, tired of running. Now, they wanted to take action. Ethan had a plan. "We've learned their weaknesses," Ethan continued. "We've been sabotaging their supplies and taking down their communication line. But it's time for something bigger. It's time to strike at their core." The core was the Vornak Central Command Base, a massive fortress where they controlled their entire fleet. If the humans could destroy it, they could cripple the Vornak's power and have a real chance at winning the war. But getting there would be nearly impossible. The fortress was surrounded by thousands of Vornak soldiers, powerful weapons, and deadly defense systems. "We're going to need more than just bombs," said Maria, one of Ethan's most trusted fighters. "We'll need something that can get us inside without being detected." Ethan smiled. He had the perfect plan. Over the last few months, they had been studying Vornak technology. They had found a way to hack into the Vornak security systems. If they could disable the outer defenses long enough, they might just have a chance to get inside. The next night, the rebellion moved into action. Ethan's team, armed with stolen Vornak weapons and gear, made their way toward the enemy base. The journey was long and dangerous, but the rebels were determined. They were tired of living in fear. They wanted their planet back. As they neared the fortress, the rebels hid in the shadows. Ethan gave the signal, and they began to hack into the Vornak security systems. The Vornak had no idea what was happening. For a few precious minutes, the outer defenses were down, and the rebels slipped inside. But their mission wasn't over yet. They still had to find the control room, where the Vornak's leadership was located. The rebels fought their way through the fortress, using their knowledge of Vornak technology to outsmart the aliens at every turn. They used Vornak weapons against the aliens, turning their own technology against them. It was a fierce battle. The rebels were outnumbered, but they were smart and they had the element of surprise. Ethan's team worked together like a well-oiled machine, each member playing their part. Maria provided cover fire while John hacked into the Vornak security systems, and Sarah, who had once been a doctor, tended to the wounded. After hours of fighting, they reached the control room. The leader of the Vornak, General Zorak, was there, waiting for them. He sneered as he saw the humans enter. "You think you can stop us?" General Zorak growled. "You are nothing. Just insects in our path." Ethan stepped forward, his eyes burning with anger. "We are not insects. We are humans. And we are not going to let you destroy our home." With that, the final battle began. Ethan and General Zorak fought fiercely, each trying to gain the upper hand. But Ethan's will was stronger. He had lost everything to the Vornak, and he would not let them win. With one final strike, Ethan defeated the general, and the Vornak's command center was destroyed. The rebels had done it. They had destroyed the core of the Vornak's power. The rest of the Vornak forces were thrown into chaos, and the humans took control of their city once again. The victory was not the end of the war, but it was a turning point. The Vornak were no longer invincible. Humans had proven that they could fight back, and they would continue to do so until Earth was free. As the sun rose over the city, Ethan stood on the rooftop, looking out at the horizon. The fight wasn't over, but for the first time in years, he felt a glimmer of hope. The humans had shown their true strength. The rebellion had begun, and there was no stopping it now. Earth had been at peace for hundreds of years, but all of that changed in 2192. The Zentorians, a ruthless alien empire, arrived without warning. They came in massive ships, bringing with them advanced weapons that could destroy entire cities in seconds. The Zentorians did not want to conquer. They simply wanted to wipe out humanity and take Earth's resources for themselves. They believed that humans were weak, primitive creatures, no match for their advanced technology. Within weeks, most of the world's major cities were in ruins. The human military tried to fight back, but they were no match for the alien invaders. The Zentorians captured cities, enslaved humans, and destroyed anything that stood in their way. It seemed like humanity had no hope left. But in the ruins of one city, a secret was uncovered, a secret that could change everything. A small group of survivors, led by a brilliant young scientist named Dr. Mia Taylor, had discovered something buried deep under the Earth's surface, an ancient relic, hidden for thousands of years. The relic, an alien artifact, was unlike anything Mia had ever seen before. It was powerful, mysterious, and appeared to be connected to human DNA. "This could be it," Mia whispered to herself as she carefully examined the relic. "This could be our chance." For years, Mia had been researching ways to fight back against the Zentorians. She knew the only way to defeat them was to unlock the hidden potential within humans, the strength they had forgotten over the centuries. The relic seemed to be the key to that power. Mia and her team worked day and night, studying the relic. After weeks of research, they discovered that the artifact had the ability to awaken hidden powers within human genes. It was a form of genetic evolution unlocking abilities that humans had never known they had. Super strength, heightened senses, and even the ability to control energy. It was the kind of power that could make humans stronger than the Zentorians. But there was a risk. The relic's power was unstable, and no one knew if it would work or what the side effects might be. Still, Mia had no choice. The Zentorians were closing in, and humanity was running out of time. "I have to do this," Mia said to her team. "We have no other choice. This is the only way we can fight back." Mia was the first to volunteer. She took a deep breath and activated the relic. A strange energy surged through her body, and for a moment, everything went dark. When she opened her eyes, she felt different. She felt powerful. Her senses were sharper. Her muscles felt stronger, more alive. She could hear things from miles away, and her thoughts were clearer than ever. "It worked," Mia whispered, amazed at the transformation. She looked at her team. This is just the beginning. The team decided to test the relic's power further. One by one, they used the artifact to unlock their own hidden strength. Each of them gained unique abilities. Some became faster, some gained super strength, while others could move objects with their minds or heal quickly. They were no longer just survivors, they were warriors. With their newfound abilities, the group set out to challenge the Zentorians. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but they were no longer afraid. Mia, now stronger than she had ever imagined, led the charge. The group traveled across the planet, gathering other survivors who had heard of their new powers. Slowly, they built an army of enhanced humans, each one ready to fight back against the Zentorians. The first mission was simple but important. The Zentorians had a base near the city of New York, where they were using human prisoners to mine resources. Mia and her team launched a surprise attack. The Zentorians were caught off guard. The enhanced humans moved faster than the aliens could react, taking down their defenses with ease. Mia could see the shock in the eyes of the Zentorians as they realized that the humans were no longer weak. "We've done it," said Mark, one of the survivors, as they secured the base. "We're stronger than they ever thought." But the Zentorians were not easy to defeat. When they realized the humans were gaining power, they sent their most powerful soldiers to hunt them down. The battle became fierce. The enhanced humans had strength, speed, and intelligence on their side, But the Zentorians had superior weapons and numbers. In the midst of the chaos, Mia faced off against a Zentorian general, a towering alien with armor that could withstand anything. The battle between them was intense. Mia used all her strength, all the power the relic had unlocked within her, to fight the general. She could feel the energy building inside her, pushing her beyond her limits. With one final, powerful blow, Mia defeated the general, shattering his armor and sending him crashing to the ground. The Zentorians, now shaken by the defeat of their strongest warrior, began to retreat. The enhanced humans had proven that they were no longer the weak species the aliens had thought them to be. The war was far from over, but the tide had turned. The hidden strength of humanity had been unlocked, and with it, the hope of defeating the Zentorians. As the team stood victorious, Mia looked out over the battlefield. "This is just the beginning," she said, her voice full of determination. "We will fight until the end. The Zentorians will learn that humanity's strength is far beyond anything they can understand." And so, humanity's fight for survival continued, with the hidden strength of Earth's people finally unleashed, ready to take on the alien invaders. The Zorga came to Earth in 2000, and they didn't come in peace. They came for one thing: Earth's resources. The alien race had already wiped out countless worlds, and now they were turning their sights on humanity. The Zorga were ruthless and powerful, with advanced technology that far outmatched anything humans had. Their ships could rain destruction from the sky, and their soldiers were nearly invincible. At first, humanity fought back with all their might. But the Zorga had no mercy. Within months, the majority of Earth's cities were destroyed. Governments fell, and most of the population was either killed or enslaved. The Zorga believed humans were weak, and that their conquest would be an easy one. They didn't understand that humanity had something far stronger than advanced weapons: the will to survive. In the remains of what was once New York City, a small group of survivors had been hiding, preparing for the day they would strike back. Among them was Captain Jake Matthews, a former military leader who had lost everything to the Zorga. His wife, Sarah, had been taken as a prisoner, and his children had been killed in the first wave of attacks. Jake was determined to take revenge not just for his family, but for all of humanity. "We can't let them think they've won," Jake said to his group, which consisted of soldiers, scientists, and civilians. They had been working together for years, studying the Zorga's technology and planning their next move. "We have one last chance to make them regret ever coming here." Jake had a plan, but it was risky. The Zorga had a command center on Earth, hidden deep underground. It was where their leaders stayed, and it controlled the entire Zorga invasion. If Jake and his team could destroy it, they could cripple the Zorga's forces and end their conquest of Earth. The group set out at night, moving silently through the ruins of the city. The Zorga's patrols were everywhere, but the humans knew how to stay hidden. They had learned to blend in with the wreckage, using the destroyed buildings as cover. After days of careful planning, they had gathered the resources they needed to launch their final strike. When they reached the entrance to the Zorga command center, Jake looked at his team one last time. "This is it. Once we do this, there's no turning back." They moved quickly, planting explosives around the entrance. The plan was simple but dangerous: destroy the command center and send a signal to the rest of humanity that they were not defeated. The Zorga had thought that humanity was weak, but they were wrong. As they set the final charges, one of the team members, Maria, hacked into the Zorga's security systems. For a few moments, the alarms went silent. The Zorga wouldn't know what hit them. But as they were about to leave, they were spotted by a Zorga soldier. "Get ready," Jake shouted. The group fought fiercely, using the weapons they had scavenged over the years. The Zorga were strong, but the humans fought with a passion they hadn't felt in years. Jake took down one soldier after another, his anger and grief driving him forward. They had lost so much, but they still had something the Zorga didn't: hope. The battle was intense. But after what felt like hours, the Zorga soldiers were finally defeated. The humans quickly retreated, running to safety as the explosions rocked the underground base. The Zorga command center was destroyed in a massive blast, sending shockwaves through their entire operation. As the survivors watched from a distance, They saw the Zorga ships in the sky begin to falter. The destruction of the command center had caused chaos in the alien forces. The Zorga didn't know how to react. They had thought they were unstoppable, but now they were scrambling to regain control. Jake looked at his team, his face full of determination. This is just the beginning. The Zorga may have come here to take Earth, but they will leave it in pieces. We will make sure of it. The message had been sent. Earth would no longer be a helpless victim. The Zorga had underestimated humanity's strength, and now they would pay the price. The destruction of the command center was a turning point in the war. The Zorga's hold on Earth was weakening, and humanity was rising up to take back their planet. In the days that followed, more and more survivors joined the rebellion. Jake and his team led the charge, using the information they had gathered to strike at key Zorga bases. Each victory gave humanity more strength, more courage. The Zorga were relentless, but they were no longer facing an easy fight. The final battle came a few months later, when the Zorga launched their last attempt to crush humanity once and for all. The humans, united and stronger than ever, fought back with everything they had. Jake led the charge, determined to see the Zorga destroyed. The battle was fierce, but the humans had learned to fight like never before. When the dust settled, Earth was free. The Zorga, who had once thought they could take the planet without resistance, were forced to retreat. The survivors celebrated their victory, but Jake knew that they could never forget the price of that victory. The battle for Earth's future had cost them everything, but in the end, it had been worth it. Jake looked out over the horizon. He whispered to himself, "This is Earth's final revenge."